Hey guys, welcome to Europe.
Thank you very much.
It's been a couple of years since the last time. Where have you been? What have you been up to?
We've just been hanging out and hanging out with friends and family, and takes a while to come up with a really good record. So yeah, now we're back with a brand new one.
I last saw you live in Oslo 2 years ago at what was hands down the best concert I've ever seen in my life.
Oh, thank you.
You guys seem like you have a lot of fun on stage.
I think we feel very at home on stage, and so we just go up, and it's a great way to just have a good time all the time.
Oslo too, you can't beat it. I mean, it's got the Viking spirit, and everyone's just going nuts, and that's a good place.
I was actually sick as shit in Oslo, and then by the time we hit stage, I felt great. But it was like 2 days. We had a couple days off or something, and beforehand I got really sick. I don't know what happened.
Too much aquavit?
I got on stage. I was so happy to be not sick that I just had one of the best shows of the tour.
How do you keep it fun? I mean, it's been a couple of years. You've been doing this for a time, and the three of you have been playing together for coming up on 30 years.
I don't know. It's kind of like, how do you know? I don't. We just have a good time while we play. I think we enjoy playing our instruments, and we like having fun with the crowd all the time. So I think that's always important. I think one thing we learned early on was that to kind of create something where it's not necessarily just us doing a job on stage, but we communicate with the audience.
The new album, Father of All Motherfuckers, coming out in February. Mm-hmm. It's okay, I'm from Norway. I'm allowed to actually say it on the radio.
All right, cool.
All right.
Tell us a little bit about this album. It seems like you've been getting inspirations from a lot of different sources this time around. I can hear some surf in there, some 60s, some stadium rock. Mm-hmm.
You pretty much answered the question.
Let's pretend I didn't.
Yeah. Well, I think for us in the generation that we come from, we've been exposed to a lot of different kinds of music, whether it's anything from Led Zeppelin to Prince to Nirvana to the Clash, and then our local scene and things like that. So it's I think it's just we try to incorporate it into like what we do, which is like the energy of Green Day, and like a song like Father of All Motherfuckers is like just kind of messing with soul and garage, the sonics and things like that, with incorporated with like a vocal of something like Prince.
The first couple of tracks that we have heard on the radio already, I'd say recognizable Green Day, but maybe a little bit brighter. Are you guys happier than you used to be?
I think it's maybe not. Maybe it's not happiness. I think it's what is sort of a energy, and something that kind of makes you dance at the same time and not just mosh.
How about you? Are you still the punks that you used to be, or have you become the fathers, as it were, and have other priorities? Are you still pissed off at the world?
I think we've.
I think the world is perfect.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I don't think it's just the punks in us isn't just about being pissed off with the world. I think it's about looking at the world and putting it through Green Day's lens. Mm-hmm. And sometimes that can be angry, and sometimes it can be overly joyful.
The album title. I'm wondering, who is the father of all motherfuckers?
Well, you can't not think about Trump when you hear a title like that, but I think it's also just, I just came up with it, and it sounded funny, and so it has a lot. The song has a lot to do with politically where we're at and how divided the country is, but also like darker elements of like personally like depression or whatever, but doing it in a way that's got a lot of, you might as well have a good time while you're seeing all of it, I guess.
There's still enough shit going on in the world to find inspiration for new songs for Green Day.
Oh, absolutely. I think we're more connected to the world in a lot of ways just because of social media and whatnot. But it's, I think you get a lot of different things you got to be put through.
With a new album comes a new tour, the Hella Maga tour with Weezer and Fall Out Boy, and a couple of stadium gigs as well, including Ålesund in Norway, way up on the coast there. What do you know about Ålesund, if anything?
We're playing with Manic Street Preachers, which is going to be really fun, and we really like those guys. And I don't know much about the area per se, but we're looking forward to having a good show.
What do you have in store for the fans this time around on doing a stadium tour like this?
Surprises. Lots of surprises. Maybe even surprising ourselves a little bit.
You've been called the world's best live band.
What's that? Say that again.
You've been called the world's best live band.
Oh, okay. I
How
thought
does
you
that
said.
make you feel?
Yeah. I thought you said we've been called the world's best live band.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think he said we have been called the world's best live band.
Yeah. The songbird of our generation.
Absolutely. How do you live up to those expectations, though?
Kick ass.
Play our catalog.
Yeah.
We just get up there and have a good time, The music and the people at the show, that's when it comes full circle. We get on stage, we play our songs, and it's the connection that we have with our audience that is really what makes our shows great. So.
I saw a really old interview with you guys on YouTube the other day, and you said our mission is to make rock not boring anymore. Mission accomplished, or do you still have work to do?
I think we still probably have work to do. I think there's a certain ingredients that you have with being in a band, and I think the one thing that might be missing from some of the other bands is mischief. So, like for us, that's sort of one of the main ingredients for Green Day, and we have fun, and we try to make things feel on the borderline of dangerous, and that's pretty much it.
Millions of records, a Broadway musical, and probably a 1,000 bands that have been inspired by you and your music. Do you reflect on that? How does that work for you? Do you consider yourself role models?
Role model?
Role models?
I don't know. We focus on ourselves, We see other things, but I don't know. I don't really look over my shoulder very much. It's like we prefer to just keep thinking about the future of Green Day and writing great music. And if other people want to, they want to follow that or be inspired by that, that's great. Don't blame me for your problem.
But it is cool though. Like we come across people that like other artists, other musicians that may not even be like anything like 21 Pilots or like Billie Eilish, and they're like, oh, you're like Josh from 21 Pilots had to hide his copy of Dookie because his parents were very conservative and he wasn't allowed to have it. So he had a little spot in his room where he would hide the disc, and hearing stuff like that for other bands and bands that straight rip us off too, it's also an honor.
Yeah. The other day I saw on Instagram Shakira did a cover of Basket Case, and I was like, that's pretty cool, in that regard. Because sometimes you see it and you go, I wouldn't put that together, but nah, that looked pretty good.
You liked it?
She's cute. No, she's got a great voice. She did a great job.
Shakira. Anybody with one name's got to be dope.
Yeah.
Shakira, Cher.
We have a feature called. Sorry.
Bono.
We have a feature called "The Song That Changed the World," and quite a few bands have named you guys for the song that changed their lives, as it were. If you were to pick one song, what song changed the world for you guys and sort of defined your musical life?
Whoa.
Wow, big question.
Of all songs ever,
Yeah.
besides Happy Birthday?
Could have been. Well, I was very young. I remember it was funny because it was kind of satirical about rock and roll a little bit, but it was like for me, Billy Joel, still rock and roll to me. Because I was like in first grade or something. I was like, oh, this sounds neat. And what I liked about it is it reminded me of the music it was sort of pretending to be. So then I kind of dug deeper into rock and roll and went, wait, oh, okay, more Beatles, more Stones, more 50s rock and roll.
Wipeout. Because I'm a drummer, duh.
If you don't mind, your personal top 5 or top 3, if you want, Green Day moments.
Ooh. I think probably Woodstock would be a pretty big moment.
Oslo?
The last Operation Ivy show, playing that show was just a moment to be in. Not so much it was about Green Day, but it was about just a moment to be at an epic show.
Will you guys be doing this in another 20, 30 years?
Well, I don't plan on dying anytime soon, so I mean, yeah, I think we'll play as long as we're not dead.
Even then, man, with science, who knows?
Yeah.
They might prop our corpses up and we could still be rocking way into, the next 3 centuries.
Well, maybe we'll probably end up being like the movie Weekend at Bernie's if one of us we'll just keep dragging one of us around. You guys, if I'm dead, you guys can just drag me and like prop me up on stage like this.
For a road case.
Yeah.
And we're all looking forward to the next 20 years then, I hear.
Let's go.